he watched me breastfeed my trailer in context when we saw text from her saying, I'm breastfeeding in my trailer. Come on over. And they've gone tit for tat in the, nice pun right after the breastfeeding.
The world of Hollywood is no stranger to controversy, but what happens when a seemingly promising film adaptation transforms into a full-blown legal battlefield?
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. There's a number of different defendants here. Stephanie Jones will be all over this complaint. That is the PR agent who was supposed to be working for Justin Baldoni. Leslie Sloan, who's another PR agent who will be part of this lawsuit. That was Blake Lively's. Blake Lively will be sued, and we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
The It Ends With Us movie was supposed to be a heartfelt, gripping cinematic masterpiece based on a best-selling novel, but instead, it has unraveled into one of the most jaw-dropping Hollywood scandals in recent memory. With lawsuits flying, reputations on the line, and rumors of possible jail time for none other than Blake Lively, this saga is far from over. What started as a simple disagreement over creative direction has snowballed into a vicious war involving defamation claims, secret text messages, leaked documents, and even accusations of evidence tampering. And with Ryan Reynolds' name suddenly disappearing from the narrative, along with a controversial New York Times article that many claim is biased, the lines between truth and deception are becoming increasingly blurred. So, what really happened behind the scenes? Did Blake Lively attempt a power grab, or is Justin Baldoni trying to save his own reputation? And could Lively actually end up behind bars? Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will change everything you thought you knew about this scandal. When news broke that Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel, It Ends With Us, was being adapted for the big screen, fans were ecstatic. The novel, known for its raw, emotional depth and powerful themes surrounding domestic violence and healing, had already amassed millions of dedicated readers worldwide. Bringing the story to life was none other than Justin Baldoni, an actor and filmmaker celebrated for his ability to translate deeply emotional narratives into cinematic form. On paper, the project seemed like a dream come true. A director with a strong emotional sensibility and a lead actress, Blake Lively, whose A-list status guaranteed media buzz and financial backing. But almost from the very beginning, insiders whispered that something was off. Creative tensions between Baldoni and Lively reportedly surfaced early in production, with the two clashing over the film's tone and storytelling approach. Baldoni wanted a raw, emotionally intense adaptation that stayed true to the novel, while Lively allegedly pushed for a more mainstream, visually polished, and even comedic approach. The idea of turning a harrowing, trauma-heavy story into a glossier, more lighthearted film didn't sit well with many fans. And when behind-the-scenes images leaked showing Lively in high-fashion outfits that completely undercut the novel's gritty realism, backlash quickly mounted. But what few people realized at the time was just how deep this creative clash had already gone. Behind closed doors, tensions weren't just creative. They were personal and political. Reports suggest that Blake Lively, frustrated by her lack of creative control, attempted to take over key decisions, positioning herself as more than just an actress. Sources close to the production claim that she actively worked behind the scenes to sideline Baldoni, leveraging her star power and industry connections to influence public perception. One bombshell allegation? Lively and her team were allegedly behind a calculated PR campaign designed to tarnish Baldoni's reputation. Leaked text messages, now circulating online, suggest that Lively portrayed herself as a powerful, untouchable figure, even referring to herself as the Mother of Dragons from Game of Thrones, with Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift as her dragons ready to be unleashed. But what exactly did that mean? And was she really trying to manipulate the media to her advantage? The battle reached a boiling point when Baldoni filed a lawsuit against Lively, accusing her of spreading false allegations about his directorial style and actively sabotaging the film's success. He claimed that her actions weren't just harming his professional credibility, they were damaging the entire project. But Lively refused to back down. Instead, she countersued, accusing Baldoni of bullying her on set and preventing her from performing at her best. This wasn't just a creative disagreement anymore, it was war. While these lawsuits were brewing, the movie itself was facing another crisis. It was an absolute disaster at the box office. Critics slammed it for its inconsistent tone, calling it a messy mix of emotional depth and misplaced humor. Fans of the novel felt betrayed, pointing fingers at the behind-the-scenes chaos as the reason why the adaptation failed so spectacularly. But the legal war between Lively and Baldoni was only making things worse. With the film's reputation in tatters, Baldoni made an unprecedented move. He launched a website filled with 168 pages of documents, emails, and text messages supporting his claims that Lively deliberately twisted the facts and manipulated the public narrative. This wasn't just a PR move, it was a full-scale transparency mission, but while his supporters saw it as an attempt to clear his name, others saw it as an act of desperation. Was Baldoni trying to salvage his reputation, or was he out for revenge? And then came the most shocking twist yet. Rumors surfaced that Blake Lively may have submitted or endorsed allegedly doctored evidence in her countersuit. If true, this could be a serious legal offense, carrying potential perjury or obstruction charges. Some sources even claimed that, under the worst-case scenario, she could face up to 5 years in prison. While legal experts caution that such a sentence is unlikely, the mere possibility of criminal charges against a Hollywood A-lister was enough to send shockwaves through the industry. The question remains, did Blake Lively knowingly falsify evidence? And if so, will she actually face legal consequences? Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds' name has quietly disappeared from discussions, despite reports that he had played a major role in shaping the film's comedic tone. Was this a strategic move to protect his career? And could he eventually be dragged into the legal battle as a witness, or worse, as an unwitting accomplice? The most unbelievable and potentially career-ending twist in this scandal came when Blake Lively's own lawyer made the stunning decision to cut ties with her, and worse, publicly question her credibility. In Hollywood, top attorneys aren't just legal experts. They're also master strategists, skilled at controlling the narrative and shielding their A-list clients from total disaster. It's almost unheard of for a lawyer to walk away from a celebrity in the middle of a crisis, let alone make a public statement about it. Yet, in a move that sent shockwaves through the industry, Lively's longtime attorney not only resigned but also hinted at serious ethical concerns, subtly suggesting that her story didn't match the facts. Normally, lawyers quietly exit cases, avoiding public spectacle. But this wasn't normal. This was a devastating public split. Instead of discreetly filing paperwork, the attorney made an explosive statement alluding to troubling discrepancies between Lively's claims and the actual evidence. While carefully worded to avoid outright accusations, the message was clear. Lively's own legal team no longer believed her. For a high-profile attorney to abandon a case like this, especially one representing a major A-list star, suggests that something huge was uncovered behind the scenes. Insiders reveal that once the lawyer had access to all the text messages, emails, and witness statements, they saw glaring contradictions between Lively's accusations and the hard evidence. Instead of risking their own reputation defending an increasingly unraveling story, they walked away. The fallout was immediate and brutal. While public opinion had already been split, this moment tipped the scales dramatically. If Lively's own lawyer didn't trust her version of events, how could the public? In Hollywood, perception is everything. And this move sent a clear message that behind the scenes, Lively's case was collapsing fast. But the damage didn't stop at public perception. Hollywood insiders, producers, directors, fellow actors began distancing themselves from Lively, fearing she had exaggerated or even fabricated her claims against Justin Baldoni. And if she was willing to do it once, what's to stop her from doing it again on future projects? Suddenly, working with Lively felt like a risk. And in an industry built on trust and reputation, that's a death sentence. Legal experts chimed in, stating that when a lawyer abandons a client mid-case, it's often seen as an admission that the case lacks merit. Sure, Lively could hire another attorney, but the damage was already done. Any new lawyer would have to battle against the perception that even her previous legal team refused to stand by her. In the cutthroat world of Hollywood, this was a rare and catastrophic public relations disaster, one that few celebrities ever recover from unscathed. The resignation of Blake Lively's lawyer didn't just shake up her legal strategy, It sent shockwaves through the public and the entertainment industry. Before this bombshell, heated debates raged online. Was Lively being unfairly targeted, or was she orchestrating the narrative for personal gain? Hollywood has never been kind to women in power struggles, and many initially rallied behind Lively, believing she was simply standing her ground in an industry notorious for silencing female voices. But when her own legal counsel walked away, everything changed. Fast. Public perception is a fragile but powerful currency in Hollywood, and Lively's was crumbling before everyone's eyes. Social media, once split between defending her and doubting her, saw a massive shift. Hashtags that had championed her cause were now being used mockingly as users dissected inconsistencies in her statements. Devoted fans felt betrayed, while skeptics felt validated, pointing to the lawyer's exit as proof that something wasn't adding up. But this wasn't just a social media storm, the mainstream media took notice. Major news outlets, legal analysts, and entertainment insiders began digging deeper, questioning just how damaging it was for a celebrity's own lawyer to publicly suggest their client wasn't telling the truth. Then came the bombshell revelations. Hollywood insiders who had remained silent suddenly felt emboldened to speak out. Reports surfaced of crew members and colleagues who had once hesitated to share their experiences, but were now confirming that Lively had a pattern of exaggeration and overstepping her authority on set. One particularly damaging claim came from a production assistant who recalled a minor scheduling issue that Lively later spun into a dramatic claim about the production team endangering her well-being. What had actually been a simple reschedule, she later framed as mistreatment in her legal claims. Other crew members shared similar accounts, claiming she had a habit of turning small inconveniences into full-blown controversies. Then came the biggest blow yet: the release of text messages that directly contradicted her claims. Conversations that she had painted as hostile between herself and Baldoni turned out to be standard production discussions, taken completely out of context. The industry took notice, quickly. Producers who once saw Lively as a bankable star began pulling away. No one wanted to risk becoming the next target of a legal and PR nightmare. In Hollywood, reputation is everything. And if an actress gains a reputation for stirring controversy, it can be a career killer. Suddenly, casting discussions that had included her name slowed down, and some projects quietly began considering other actresses. And it wasn't just her career taking a hit, her endorsement deals were at risk too. Fashion and beauty brands, once eager to partner with her, now hesitated to attach their image to someone at the center of a media firestorm. But perhaps the biggest question mark in this entire saga was Lively's personal life. Her husband, Ryan Reynolds, one of Hollywood's most beloved figures, was noticeably silent. At first, sources claimed he was standing by her, but as more damning evidence surfaced, rumors swirled that even he had begun questioning her claims. His absence from key public appearances only fueled speculation that he was distancing himself from the controversy. What started as a creative dispute had now erupted into a full-blown Hollywood scandal, one that threatened to permanently destroy Lively's career. If her lawyer's resignation was the first crack in her public image, then the massive shift in public and industry sentiment was the devastating landslide that followed. In an industry where your reputation defines your future, Lively now faced the biggest battle of her career. Rebuilding trust with fans, Hollywood power players, and the industry that once embraced her. Would she bounce back, or was this scandal the moment that defined her forever? Only time would tell, but one thing was crystal clear. Hollywood would never see Blake Lively the same way again. At this point, it's impossible to predict how this scandal will end. Will Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni reach a quiet settlement? Or will this escalate into a sensational courtroom showdown that could change both of their careers forever? With the media, the legal system, and Hollywood insiders watching closely, this story is far from over. But one thing is clear. This is no longer about a failed movie. It's about power, reputation, and the dark side of the entertainment industry. What do you think? Is Baldoni being unfairly targeted, or is he truly the overbearing force some claim he is? Could Blake Lively really face jail time if the evidence against her turns out to be damning? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Because in Hollywood, the drama never stops,